One of the first things I want to do today is tell you how much of a true fan I am.
Of course.
Seriously. And what I also find interesting about that honest fandom that I have, or fanishness, or whatever, fanboyness that I have for you,
Sure.
is also what controversy there is about the fact that I am happy to express my appreciation and fanboyness of you and your work. I get tons of private messages and tweets like, Richard, what are you doing? He's like ripping everybody, and he's.
If I ask from who? Like,
oh, I'll go look it up.
In general, like.
Yeah, just people now and then. It's really funny because just like when we Star's out right now, talking about lobbying for this combat idea that we have, and it's debatable. I mean, people, we're doing something that's new and it's different, and frankly, we haven't tested it, so we can't prove that it's good, but we think it's worthy of trying. But when people in these games, as you know, get very impassioned about their belief about what's good about them or what's not good about them, and which is one of the blessings and the curses of doing things creatively. But one of the things I really love about your work, I totally dig it, is it is obvious. You watch any of the games that you talk about, and you've not just played them. You've played their prequels. You've played the games around them. You've played that game that you're talking about from beginning to end. It is clear you are a fan of the work, and you are knowledgeable about the work.
Try.
But then you also go and go, look, we are trying to create a great art form. We are in an industry where we're trying to aspire to do literature at a level, at least, of traditional books and movies.
Yeah.
Which you can argue about whether most of those are good literature either. But the point is, we're trying. And yet, we are so in our immature infancy, as you correctly point out so commonly with your reviews, like going like, okay, had a lot of fun with this game, but here's, by the way, where the script of the dialogue just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Or here's where the behavior of the game, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
And once we hear you say it, I'm going like, I kind of knew it at the time, but it was easy for even my own team and myself to kind of gloss over those issues or not really think about them as deeply because, we're just trying to solve a problem. We're trying to get something done, get it out the door. But having somebody like yourself just calling us on the carpet, just going like, okay, love your work, love your game, this is wrong, I think is great for us. It's great for the industry. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's accurate, and I think it's good for the art form.
Well, and it's part of it's just kind of seeing, I'm not calling what you're doing bad, I'm saying like seeing other things critiqued or seeing how other things are done wrong is an easy way to know how you're doing things right. Or at least know how things are done right. So, like, for instance, you asked why I like professional wrestling so much.
Yeah.
I don't. Really. Professional wrestling is simple. It's a simple exercise in storytelling. You have heroes overcoming great odds to win.
Right.
The villain, he's doing something bad.
He's cheating.
He's cheating. He's doing bad things. There's more of him than there are of the good
he's
guy.
tougher. He's bigger.
He's tougher, he's bigger, but he cheats. And so our hero, he's plucky, he's probably not as strong, he's probably not as big, but he's got a pure heart, and he's trying harder. So you've got this very simple struggle. He's better than the guy, but he gets beat down because the guy is cheating. And so you've got this very simple struggle, and so many times in wrestling they screw it up. This is not a difficult story. It's a hero's journey from beginning to end.
Right.
So you can easily make fun of this when they screw it up because you're like, dramatically, this doesn't work.
Right.
Because sometimes at the end of this, the bad guy just wins.
Right.
Oh,
and actually, I love the fact that you're even taking professional wrestling to the point of studying it as in my mind, a Joseph Campbell-style hero's journey.
Yeah.
Because that, I think, was what happened with Ultima 4. Starting with Ultima 4 was a time where all these previous games, if they had people playing them, which they did, I never really met many of those players. Right? I wasn't the publisher, so if anybody wrote a letter in because there was no email, it went to the publisher, not me.
Yeah.
And it was only Ultima 3 where I had my own company. So just before Ultima 4. So after Ultima 3, I started to see some letters that people would write in, and then I realized how people were interpreting my work that was not at all what I thought I was creating. I thought I was creating something that to me felt like a hero's journey.
Yeah.
But in fact, what I discovered was that, a game where the bad guy, you're told the bad guy is the bad guy in the instructions, but then they wait for you at the end and do nothing to prove their badness during the game,
Yeah.
doesn't make them very bad.
Yeah.
And if instead you, on the other hand, kill every villager you meet and steal from every shop you meet,
Exodus,
in order to become strong, and in fact love killing Lord British, usually as a side effect, you know, I'm going like, okay, that's not really that much of a hero's journey. You're actually pretty evil yourself.
Because my brother would routinely go through Fawn, I think it was, and because nobody in Fawn could fight back. So he would go through Fawn routinely slaughtering everybody several times because they would fight back and they would drop good gold.
Right.
And
good way to min-max your way to the top.
Yeah. So he bought all the keys, all the gems that he needed to, and you know, coins to stop time and stuff like that. And I was like, that's pretty smart. By the way, you're a rampaging psychopath.
Right.
You know, and he's like, yeah, but I just killed, you know, I just managed to beat Exodus, and so the bad guy's beat. And I'm like, the bad guy got beat.
Exactly. So that was my big revelation here before Ultima 4, which is why I at least started trying to say, look, I still want to let you do whatever the heck you want because I think it's fun, but I want to make sure the world reacts in the logical way. And that's when I began to rethink her hero's journey to not just start weak and strong, but start as unworthy as you and I might be in our real lives. But to win, you really have to prove that you're worthy, not just have enough money and toughness.
He's just chuckling. But
let me switch to your camera, dude.
What's a paladin?